And now for a Republican perspective, we turn to Congressman Mike Lawler from New York. Congressman, welcome back to the News Hour. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So you have repeatedly pointed out that you repeatedly voted to keep the government funded, to keep the government open, even under President Biden. As you just heard, Democrats are arguing that they're fighting to protect health care. They say they want to roll back Medicaid cuts. They want to extend the subsidies that expire at the end of the year, keep those costs from going up for millions of people. What's your response to that?
Well, I think obviously the Democrats' position here is hypocritical. And so I just impress upon my Democratic colleagues that no matter what political differences there are or policy debates there are to have, shutting the government down is idiotic and does not serve a real purpose in terms of actually solving the problems facing the American people. We can all agree that healthcare costs in this country are out of control. And in fact, the Affordable Care Act, 15 years on, has not actually borne fruit in terms of reducing healthcare costs or healthcare premiums or increasing access. In fact, in many respects, it has made the cost of healthcare substantially worse. The subsidies that were put in place during COVID are set to expire at the end of this year. I and a number of my Republican colleagues have signed on to legislation to extend that by a year. House and Senate Republican leadership have already said they are open to negotiating over those subsidies and potential changes to them, including income limits. But that is something that is to be negotiated, not used as a bludgeon in a government shutdown, which will only hurt the very people that Democrats claim they want to help.
So just to make sure I understand, you're saying that the debate over the subsidies is one worth having. You just don't want to have it during this process. Is that right?
Sure, it's a worthwhile discussion to have, and it's something that can be negotiated. But why would you shut down the government to do it? What we have done in the House is pass a clean CR, which Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, and you name the Democrat, have always said they support, have always demanded Republicans support, have always lectured America about the consequences of a shutdown. We have passed a clean CR. It is sitting in the Senate. Senate Democrats could act today, tonight, before midnight, to agree with Republicans to pass a clean CR and keep the government open and funded so that we can finish our appropriations work and negotiate over issues like the ACA subsidies.
I do want to put to you what our latest PBS News Marist NPR poll shows. We asked if there's a government shutdown, which party would Americans blame? Some 38% said they would blame Republicans. 31% said both. 27% said Democrats. Some 4% said neither. Are you misreading where the American public is right now on this?
I don't think the American people want a shutdown, period. Regardless of what a poll says, the bottom line is there's no reason to shut the government down. And House Republicans have done our job. We already passed a CR to keep the government funded and open through November 21st. The only thing standing in the way of a CR passing the Senate is Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats who refuse to actually advance the measure and are demanding certain concessions in return. I think ultimately the American people have always soured on government shutdowns. They don't view them as productive, and neither do I, which is why I've always been consistent in supporting keeping the government open and funded.
Can I ask you, too, about the way in which this debate has been unfolding over a potential shutdown, which includes President Trump posting an AI-generated video of House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries with a superimposed mustache and a sombrero with music playing in the background. I'm not asking you to explain that posting, but I do want to ask you if you support that.
I'll defer to the president on why he posted it. But at the end of the day, from my vantage point, that is a distraction from the issue at hand. The issue at hand is that there is a clean CR sitting in the Senate, ready to be voted on and passed so that we keep the government open and funded. At the end of the day, the American people are not interested in the sideshow. They're interested in us doing our jobs. We all have a responsibility to govern. And right now, Senate Democrats could pass a CR with Republicans in the Senate to avert a government shutdown. That is what is most important at this moment.
That is Republican Congressman Mike Lawler of New York joining us tonight. Congressman, thank you for your time.
Thank you.